Meg Williams now. Bastian takes off, and she's got that base stole.
Hills keep coming.
Yep. Down 5 runs, and they've decided to open up the running game. So now with none out, runner in scoring position, Meg Williams up. 1 strike on her. There's a fly ball into left field. That gets past the left fielder all the way to the fence. Bastian scores easy. Williams goes past 2, and standing triple by Meg Williams.
Yeah, Pete said in the pre-game, the young team, as you can see here, they're on the C-Max replay all the way out to the softball South Australia side. Bester does a great job recovering the ball as quickly as you can, but just good batting against great pitching. But the Heat have been, they've had to rely on some of the experience, and that's what Meg Williams brings this young team who, courtesy of Abby Bastian getting on, she's gone on to score, and the Hills are on the board.
Now Aaron Adams McDonald, first pitch swinging there, looking to drive in that run. None out, runner at third. 1 strike to Aaron. Aaron now just looking to put this ball in play. The infield is in. Both King and Gall in on the line. Fouled back off the fence just in front of us here in the Jill Williams Pavilion. To coin a phrase from James. And 0-2.
Of course, a life member of Softball SA, Jill Williams, and it was her idea for us to have some
to name it?
Yeah. No,
to have the coverage.
The cover. So
I thought she said, "Hey, we should call this after me," right? Change up the middle. Martinez fields, and very aggressive. Meg Williams down the line, but wisely retreated. I think they would have had a play at the plate.
Yeah, when you got Georgia King coming up to the plate, though, I think you can probably just give it a chance and let her do the job. So
Martinez retires Adams McDonald for the first out.
Second out, I reckon.
That's the first out.
First out? Yep, there you go. Wrong already.
King now with 1 out and the runner at third. Perfect opportunity for her to hit a nice fly ball out there or a base hit. She hits the gap and keeps things going.
Yeah, great tournament with the Stars back in the Gillies Shield in January over in Hawker for the ACT. Came in and did a job for the Stars after an injury to Hayley Benithan.
Hayley possibly concussed on the play at home, was it?
Yeah, and obviously they took precautions. She made it back by the end of the week, but yeah, Georgia did a great job stepping in for her. So
2-0 to King. Tricky moment now for Martinez and Walkerville. They're leading, but they've got runner in scoring position. 2-0 to King. The pitch. It's a strike. Patient at bat by Georgia King now. Middle infield is up. Corners are back. Off speed, off the plate, and 3-1 to King. Hill's getting something going here. They want to keep it going. Georgia King ready. Martinez throws a changeup. Hard ball hit past over shortstop with a really big hop. But that's going to do the job and drive her in. We were just talking about how good the infield was playing, and that was a nasty second hop there.
Well, she hit it so hard. That's why the second bounce went so high.
It was a missile.
Yeah, that timeout actually being called by Walkerville just to settle down just a little bit. Sophie King saw the live flash before her eyes, I think. But a good rally here from the Hills Heat here in the third inning to answer back to the 4 that Walkerville put on in the top of the inning. Abby Bastian speed really applied the defensive pressure, got on base. Megan Williams hit a triple all the way down to the line and into the corner for an RBI. And Georgia King rips one over to left field for the second run of the inning.
And that brings La Rosa back up, who hit a nice fly ball out to left that could have fallen in, but played perfectly by Bested. A little slap at it. Fielded by Martinez, throws across. Moves the runner up, but that's a second out on a nice play by Martinez. She's fielded a lot of ground balls today, a lot of plays by her.
Well, look, I was thinking the same thing, Bill, looking down at the score sheet. 4 assists on the game for Martinez with 1 strikeout.
She's a tall athlete too, so getting down to some of those balls, it's a fair effort for a pitcher at the end of her delivery too.
I'd say half of them have been low, but the other half have been chopped back at her, so she's had to reach for them.
So with 2 out, Laura Temke, right fielder. First pitch low, lays off. Good eye at the plate. Got speed at second base. Temporary runner came in for King and Abby Bastian.
Yeah, I think
from glance from here. It's a ground ball, gets past to Martinez. King charges and throws across to Mason for the out. Punched out aggressively by Ian Gray.
Well, as that play was happening at first, as you see here on the C-Max replay, Abby Bastian was crossing the plate, so any mistake that was made there would have cost a run, but Sophie King, nice and safe, plenty of experience, good field, stays low, and gets the out.
Yeah, great inning from the Hills Heat to bounce back and get back into this game 5-2. We know that these two teams had a big hit out earlier in the season. It was a high scoring game, 7-6 I think. So plenty of capable batters in both lineups, and not bad from the Hills Heat in the way that they've just treated Chelsea Martinez, if you don't mind, in that inning. Couple of hits, couple of runs. They only give up 5 runs a game, Walkerville, and they're sitting 6th. So that's pretty impressive. Ollie Durham 1 out away over on the backfield for a 1-hit shutout. So doing terrific, the 15-year-old. Now, Anthony, you are joining us. Bill, we'll get you to call the plays, but Anthony and I are just going to chat about Indigenous Round coming up on Saturday. It's the 3rd annual.
Yeah, so obviously I'll let Bill take this one.
Kelly Bested in left field, takes the first pitch for a ball.
So,
fourth annual.
So 2020 it started, and obviously down here tonight in my role as the president of ASA, just trying to promote some of the special theme rounds that we've got coming up. And unfortunately last year the Indigenous round, because of the weather, we weren't able to hold it. So obviously looking forward to having a big one this year. It's going to be 30 degrees on Saturday, so it's going to be perfect conditions. So really looking forward to a big game between Port v Sturt.
Top of the table clash.
Yeah, and they're the inaugural teams from the original round, so they'll be in their Indigenous tops.
Yeah, it's an initiative that we started at Softball SA because of COVID forcing NAIDOC week back into November. So we had a NAIDOC round, and Port Adelaide made it their club round, and then they inherited it, and now it's the annual Indigenous round.
There's a 4-pitch walk to Kelly Bessett from Claire Mohan-Ram.
So it's speaking with the Port Adelaide Softball Club, obviously just getting some updates on this weekend. Obviously they'll be holding a barbecue from our new barbecue area, and around behind the fenced areas they'll have cake stalls, raffles, all going on throughout the day. So there'll be lots of tasty treats.
And this is a stolen base attempt. Punched out at second base on a bit of a one-hopper in there. Showing bunt, fake bunt, and then the throw.
Yeah, Bastian did a great job on the bounce. As you can see, this ball bounce in front of her, and she's had to read that as well as make the tag. So
it's a good call.
Great job by Abby Bastian.
Didn't quite get to the base there. Red slid into Bastian's foot, but she had the ball, so it wouldn't have been an obstruction.
So some really cool things are going to be happening. The Port Adelaide are looking to have some special painted softballs coming out for some awards throughout the game. So there'll be ones that they're looking to have announced at the completion of the A-grade game, which is obviously really exciting. So
Meanwhile, 3-0 to Aaron Stone, number 9 batter. And there's a 4-pitch walk to Aaron Stone.
So they're very excited to be able to hold the round this weekend. We've got a couple of special guests on the commentary coming. We've got one of their members, Rowena Travaskis. She was going to be on there talking about some club history around the Indigenous round, and also another one representing their sponsor from the ARTC. Gemma Cochran, you mentioned before, she'll also be on the broadcast along with Pete Williams. So it's going to be a big day. So encourage everybody to get down here. And Port have obviously asked, if you get an opportunity to wear some black, red and yellow, that's the way to go. It's not a compulsory uniform. Obviously only the Port Sturt game, it'll be the Indigenous round, but there'll be welcomes to country and some other great positive messaging around trying to create some awareness around that day.
Good comeback pitch there by Claire Mohan-Rand. They had a quick little conference to settle her down. Bringing up Sophie King, who's had 2 hits tonight, a double and a single. And she fouls that pitch off for 1-1. Aaron Stone at 1. Walkerville threatening again, but with 1 out. Claire only came into the game late in the last half inning. I think she only faced 1 or 2 batters when they made that change and got herself out. Might have been just 1. And there's a changeup that's fouled off by King. Close enough to swing at.
So yeah, if you're not on the TV watching us on the Spacequake, definitely encourage you to get down, support the Port Adelaide Softball Club and all the things that they'll have running on the day. So there'll be plenty happening. It'll be bright and colourful, and looking forward to a really good day down here on Saturday.
Well, no, not all clubs have done it yet, but a lot of the clubs have Indigenous shirts. I know West Torrens will be debuting their Indigenous shirt this year, and and we've seen a couple of the teams play against Port Adelaide as well, but their tops look amazing. So do the Softball SA Indigenous shirts that we had made for the NAIDOC round.
And that's fouled way over the third base dugout. Is there a team, might have been in the, not in the A grade, but they've got multiple things on their shirt.
Is that Sturt, D grade?
Yeah, D grade.
Yeah.
Indigenous, it covers everything.
Pride Beyond Blue.
That's it.
Breast cancer awareness.
Change up there. King just gets enough on it. Bastian goes back and makes a great catch. What looked like a base hit just hung up, and Abby Bastian with a great drop step here in the C-Max replay. Makes a bit of a leaping catch right at the lip.
She's just doing some amazing things in the field for somebody her age. Just
absolutely.
Great to watch, great footwork. So
a couple of 15-year-olds just dominating the diamonds tonight. Ollie Durham on the backfield.
Aaron Stone takes off with the ball in the dirt. She steals second.
And Abby Bastian at shortstop tonight for the Hills Heat.
So
some great and exciting initiatives for the Indigenous round. Again, the event, it's turning into an event, isn't it? It's not just a round. It's becoming part of ingrained in our culture as well, and really supporting the Indigenous round. And we've got a good long history of supporting Indigenous softball. The APY lands, of course, have been playing softball on the lands in competitive competition in the Far North West Sports League. KT's been going up there since day one. I think that's into year 16 or 17.
Haley Meyer up here now.
And obviously the thing, it's not a fundraiser from per se, is in the sense that whilst Port Adelaide is supporting it, their real goal is to increase an awareness and respect around the acknowledgement and valuing the Aboriginal culture and the people within the wider softball community. And that's one thing we've always done as a softball community in Adelaide and in wider South Australia really well. So it's a great acknowledgement of it. So really looking forward to it. So it's going to be a big weekend. So please get down here and support the club and enjoy the day.
3-1 pitch now to Haley. And she takes that for another walk in the inning, and there's 2 on now for Chelsea Martinez.
Then the following week, we've got the CFS round on the starts on the 16th, the Friday night, which will be Hills Heat playing the Glenelg Rebels in the inaugural CFS round. Oh, it's not inaugural. They've also been doing it for a few years now. So
Second.
So that'll be a huge game up there, live on Spacequake.
So he's got to look forward to the drone shots of that one.
Yes, Dave will be looking forward to doing that. Obviously, Joe Liddell will make sure that that's a knockout event. I know they've got a very, very long list of some big-name guests coming in to watch the game. Obviously, there'll be a men's softball game as the
Curtain raiser.
Raiser.
That is Harndorf Magpies versus the Mackie Redbacks.
So Martinez just got a little taste of her own medicine with a change-up pitch from Mohan Ram for a strike, which was nicely thrown. Nods her head.
She really floats it up there, doesn't she?
Yeah. 1-1 count now to Martinez. 2 runners on. Hard hit ball past second base into the right center gap. Stone scores easily. Haley Mayer goes all the way to 3. And Martinez has got herself a RBI single.
It's her second RBI single of the game, and does herself a favour there by putting an extra run on the board. So out to a 6-2 lead now with 2 runners on and a catcher. Speed up. We'll see Sophie King return to first base to run for the pitcher Martinez. Another timeout for the Hills Heat has been called. Looks like Mohan Ram's night is done, and in comes Zoe Marriage from the centre field. So perfect opportunity for us to continue to talk about our other rounds, Anthony.
Yeah,
Indigenous round this Saturday, CFS round Friday the
week.
16th. You mentioned some huge names going to be in the broadcast and at the event as well.
Absolutely. So that's a round, if you get a Friday night to get up there, there'll be obviously barbecue and raffles and etc., those types of things up at Anemo Park, which is a great place to watch softball. The following week, we have our first ever Life Members round and our 80th anniversary. So that'll be for the 5 o'clock game.
Just explain the Life Member round for us, Anthony.
Yeah, so all we're doing is just acknowledging club life members from the 7 Adelaide clubs and inviting their life members to come down, and on behalf of the Adelaide Softball Association, in conjunction with Bar 66 and Red Stars Cafe, we'll be putting on a bit of a day for them so they can come down, watch the current A grade. So it'll be scheduled for the 5 o'clock game, which is the last game of the day, which will be Sturt and the Hills. But there'll also be West Torrens will be playing Seacombe on the other diamond. But for the life members from each of the softball clubs in Adelaide to come down, have some drinks, have some food, and hopefully catch up with some players and friends that they might not have seen for some time, and just acknowledge the contribution that those people have made to their softball clubs. So it's a new initiative that we've entered this year. So that'll be a big day. And then the following week, we have the Pride round from West Torrens, which has obviously been super successful since Mel McGee's introduction of that
a few years back.
And the breaking news that we can sort of lift tonight is that the Adelaide Softball Association will be holding its own presentation night and celebration of the 80th anniversary of softball in Adelaide. Along with the presentation night of the Adelaide Softball Association. A week before the grand final, it'll be March 17th on Sunday night at 5:30 at the Marion Sports Club. Go for a few hours, and details to follow soon, but we're looking to have a really big night.
Well, the Adelaide competition haven't had a awards night since pre-COVID.
So runner goes. Second base cuts off, and a lot of has happened there. We've had a pitching change, and the outfield has completely been shuffled and redealt. Sophie Roberts is up. There was runners at the corner, but stolen base by Sophie King, and that time she hesitated and wait, like similar to Georgia King did that time. Now with 2 runners in scoring position,
so
Sophie Roberts.
5 really big events coming up in the next 6 weeks. And then, of course, the men's nationals will be here at West Beach.
Is that not big? Does that not count? Or
no, I said it was big.
Yeah.
I just didn't include it as part of the Adelaide Softball Association, but we are looking forward to the live stream and that. So please get down and support the men's team, working very hard. A lot of stars.
Have you just broken another story there, or is there something that the people need to know about the Open Men's National Championship?
I believe that there's a little bit of, I mean, my hat tonight is the ASA president, not a board member, but I believe that there might be some game streams, so that'll be exciting for everybody. From the best live streaming service getting around. But
Bill, I'm going to have to check the schedule of the Open Men's, and I'm going to ask for permission to come and call a game or two, I reckon.
I think we should. I think we should.
I think being the boss, that might not be that hard, actually.
Yeah, we can get that worked out. Fouled off. Roberts now is 2-2.
So the presentation night is a week before the grand final. So we've probably never done that before. So we'll be awarding all of our awards, except obviously the grand final winner, which will be sorted out the week later. So it'll be the Sunday night before, so that we'll know the Kath Coral medalist. And
it's a little AFL-ish.
Has the office been informed of this so they can get the trophy order in?
It's been discussed. So.
Roberts hits a fly ball. That's going to fall in and score 2. And she's clutched up and come up with 2 more runs for Walkerville to push them out to a 8-2 lead.
Yeah, another hit. Walkerville piling on the hits in the last 2 innings. They had 5 hits in the third, 4 of them with 2 out, and they've had 2 hits and 3 walks so far in this inning.
C-Max replay there showing there's just enough on the ball just to get it over the infield and no chance for the outfield there. It's a good piece of hitting.
And again, the hits have come with 2 out.
So yeah, forgive the information overload, but we just wanted to make sure that the thousands and thousands of people that are watching the broadcast know that we've got a very busy month coming up down here at the Adelaide Softball Association, and obviously getting ready for the men's nationals. It's West Beach is going to be the place to be for the next 7 weeks.
Massive calendar events coming up, and Anthony, that's the most preparation I've seen you do for a game before, by the way, and you're only on for an inning or so. Anthony will be calling the action this Saturday. Yes, he was shaking his head at me.
No, the preparation part was the thing that threw me. I didn't take that very well. But
well, our callers do very well. We all do our homework, and Anthony, you're one of the best at it in the business. I'm not saying you're the best, but you're one of them. That'll do it for the top of the 4th inning. Walkerville have scored 3 in this inning. Mason just gets jammed a little, and La Rosa does the rest of the work there for the 3rd out. So, gee, Walkerville, what do they put? 7 on the board over the last 2 innings. They're out to an 8-2 lead. You going to stick around?
No. I think South Australia's had enough of me tonight, so I'll jump out. Just one thing for all those people coming down on Saturday and the remaining Saturdays for the rest of the season, just remember to support our umpires and our players in a positive way. It's getting that time of year where games are getting serious and the weather's very hot, and so there's a lot going on, but just remember to support our umpires as best you can, and support the players in a positive manner, and so we can all have a good end to what is a big season. So.
Love it, Anthony. Very well said, and it's just a game after all, right? So support the community, because without the community we don't have the great sport that we do have, and we thank Anthony Weatherstone for his cameo appearance tonight, and plenty coming up, so stay tuned, stick around, watch the socials, and get down to the ground as well. We're at West Beach Road at West Beach if you're local, and Bill, looks like a bit of a meeting of the board over there to our right, and we'll welcome Pete back in a minute.
I would like a bit of a ratio of airtime for Anthony and information put across in that time. That was well done. As Claire Mohan-Rand steps in for the Hills to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Been keeping up with the action there, Pete, from the sidelines?
I've been seeing little bits and pieces, having some people talk to me. I got back from over the hill, watched the Sturt's 5th innings at bat where they put a few on the board. couple of games going on over the back there tonight. There was the one going on the diamond and the one going on behind the back net. There was foul ball catching practice for everyone that was there, so a bit of competition going on was good. But it literally came down to Sturt were just hitting. They were quite powerful. The first two innings.
Bellwether had 3 for 3. I didn't look at any more of that.
Bell was 4 for 4.
4 for 4.
First two innings, they got through their lineup once and didn't get a run on the board. They turned around for their second turn facing Jade Peterson, and they got 13 hits and 11 runs in pretty quick succession. There was just some really good hitting.
Wow.
The bad news, I've heard Caitlin Carroll did go down the other day on the weekend, rolling an ankle, pretty swollen still, not gone out tonight because she didn't want to have to walk out over the hill. But they've lost Tate Nicholson in the game tonight with an injury to her hand. The ball hit the end of the fingers. Hopefully might be okay for this weekend. If not, we'll have to wait till the CFS round next Friday. Ball apparently hit the end of her fingers. It's already bruised up quite nicely. They're hoping it's just bruising and swelling, but
that's three or so injuries in 3 games for Glenelg.
And of course Gemma done for the year, so
that's right.
They've definitely hit a curse factor.
3-1 to Clare. Fouled that one off. Martinez coming after.
Of course, wishing
count now.
all of our players who are currently sidelined due to injuries or otherwise, we wish them all the best in their recoveries. And it's a softball community where we don't like to see people go down, even if they're the opposition, and we get around and we get them back healthy as quick as we can.
Well, Hill's looking to get started again, similar to they did last time. Trailing now by 6. And fouled off again. Hanging around up there, having a good at bat is Mohan Rand. I think after the last pitching shuffle and fielding, she's back out in left field now. Cooling off a bit here now. It's down. Oh, there's a fly ball right to center field for the first out. Just gonna say the wind is picked up a little bit. I can hear some rustling on the tarp above us, and also the temperature I can feel got a little bit cooler in the last little bit. Everybody's wearing their hoodies.
Yeah, going out there just a minute ago, the wind was definitely, it would be on your first for diamond 1 here. The ball's basically, well, the wind's basically coming from the right field corner across to the left field corner. Quite strong now. It's picking up. It has picked up since the start of the game. The temperature definitely has dropped. But we're seeing here Mia Oates-Willis coming in for a turn at bat. Now, I saw her last night have a turn at bat in one of the last innings of her B-grade game. 2 bounces into the outfield fence. So we know she's got power if she hits them and connects. So let's see what she can do here.
And she's batting for Jackson, who first time up grounded out to shortstop. Oates-Willis, first pitch swinging. Ground ball to Steph Gall. Throws across to Mason. 2 away.
He comes into the game, gets the first pitch, takes up a bit of the leaf out of the Walkerville book and hits the first one, but unfortunately comes off an awkward part of the bat and rolls its way out to second. Cleanly fielded there by Steph Gall, and a nice little pick up and throw over to Georgia Mason for the second out.
I like her approach. She's come up, she was ready to swing, and got bat on ball. That brings up Zoe Marich. Takes the first pitch high for a ball.
We're about 80 minutes into the game, so with 2 out, if there's a quick out here, we'll go around for a 5th and final time.
Ground ball, and again, Chelsea Martinez flashing the leather, reaches up, and it's a 1-3 for the 3rd out.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Zoe. That was lovely, clean hit. It just bounced up, perfect height. For the taller Chelsea Martinez, got it nicely in the glove and got the 3rd out completed, and we go again.
5th play of the game for Martinez. Only the 1 strikeout, interestingly enough, through the inning, the batting inning twice for the Hills Heat. Maybe an early contender for the C-Max player of the game, because as we flip the card over, we'll see 2 singles and 2 RBIs for Martinez. And even though she had the runner doing the harder work for her after she got on 2 runs across the plate in her column, so or row.
Yep, she's been a big contributor.
Anyone else stand out to you? Sophie King, couple of hits. Bill.
Yeah, Sophie King has led it off those first 2 innings and really got things started, I thought. Also, like you said, running for and scoring runs on 2 of those occasions. So 4 runs, technically, her crossing the plate.
Brooke Bethune, who is up to bat, has an RBI or 2 RBI double, and she's caught a good game as well. And we look at, as you mentioned, Sophie Roberts, Chelsea Martinez, a couple of hits. Hayley Mayer, a double, an RBI double, a sacrifice bunt, and a base on ball. So she's been handy player for the Cats as well tonight.
So
I reckon this will be the top of the final inning.
This will be it.
Say as we cross the 82-minute mark, and Bill, I'll hand it over to you for the play-by-play.
Yeah, Brooke Bethune had a double last time. I think scored runs on that one. There's a ground ball to short. Bastian up with it. A little bit low in the dirt, but dug out by Meg Williams. Nice play on both ends for the first out.
Abby Bastian again, big smiles on her face. The ball here on the C-Max replay. She moved very quickly, 2 quick steps to her left, got the ball to throw a little bit down and to the right for Megan Williams, but she holds it and clears the out.
Tour player of the game, and Abby Bastian again has had a pretty good performance. She had a wild throw in the first inning, but another 5 or 6 plays and that diving play to reduce
save a run.
Sophie Roberts for a save a run and an infield single rather than an outfield RBI. Maxine Saunders is actually coming up to bat to hit for Steph Gold.
Good spot there, James. 1 ball to her. Zoe Merch pitching. Came on late last inning. And that one's up a little bit. 2-0. Saunders has played a few games for Walkerville. They debuted this year, correct? Playing right field.
Yeah, one of those ASA awards that Anthony were talking about will be the A-grade Rookie of the Year, and they named that after Belinda White.
Yes.
If memory serves me correct.
Yes, that's
Belinda White. I'm getting a nod from the side here. So one of those awards that'll be awarded the week before the grand final, and definitely in contention. You'd think Rookie of the Year. Can't go to an interstate or an international, Bill. So
okay. How many games do they have to play? Do you know the guidelines on that?
They've got to. They can't have played more than 6 games previously. In the A grade. Okay. So they can play as many as it needs to get a nomination from the club.
I guess if they come in and star in one game and
walk off.
And that slap just foul down the third base side. Just throwing the bat at it, made good contact.
Interesting thing with that, James, is they can't have played more than 6 games. Some of these Hills players have actually had a pretty good year and are getting along in their careers and that nicely now in their junior days, but they would have played a fair bit with the Hills in the last couple of years in the A grade as well, so they may have already rocked over the 6.
Yeah, Abby Bastian, first year A grader, I'm pretty sure. Ollie Durham only would have played a few games, you would have thought, previously. So there's a couple of names we've already mentioned a fair bit tonight.
And that one's a bit low, and Saunders gets herself a walk, a 1-out walk.
The clubs are actually responsible for sending in the eligible players before the A-grade coaches vote for a winner. So the clubs are responsible, for example, if a player is eligible, they send it in, and then that list of eligible players is checked by the records officer, life member and Hall of Famer Julie Dale performs that role, and then the list gets sent out to the Adelaide clubs, and the coaches vote on the player or Rookie of the Year.
So Kelly bested in now. Merritt's a little high pickoff move by King. Has Saunders diving back in, brushing the dirt off now.
As opposed to the A-grade Team of the Year, where the coaches just vote for the players who they believe to be the best players in each of the positions. So coaches getting a bit more work to do if they're not already overworked, Bill.
Well, I co-coach with Annalie Dolman, and I was going to say that would be something that she would be very good at, her selections there, but I'm sure we'll talk that through. And there's a strike. Merritt comes back with a good strike pitch there to go 2-2. Well, the Hills are looking to get these outs and limit the damage and then get back on the bats. Bested says no and hits one into the right center gap. Diving try by Laura Temke. And backed up nicely by Zobel from right field, but Saunders goes first to third, and Bested is happy and smiley over there at first base.
Well, I can tell you why, and I don't like to put the microscope on a player, but that was Kelly's first hit of the season. So congratulations,
that
Kelly.
was a very nice hit. Timke making a good effort, got a piece of it, actually stopped it from going farther.
Yeah, there's the CMAX replay, and if you want to help advance tomorrow's healthcare and get paid for your time, log on to cmax.com.au. Another timeout being called. It's going to be the last inning, so it doesn't matter how many timeouts they take from now. It will be the last. Hills just having a bit of a chat, maybe discussing whether they'll continue to pitch by committee or if they'll back young Marich to get them out of here. They've got one out, runners at 1 and 2. We'll wrap this up pretty quickly because it's freezing cold here tonight. We did start 5 minutes late. Very good pickup.
Yes.
Yeah, of course we did. But
that will still be it.
That'll be in a couple of minutes' time, and Hills have got the bottom half of the inning. Look out for Indigenous round this Saturday. Port versus Sturt live here on Spacequake Sports. Top versus second. So despite the fact that it's Indigenous round and a terrific round to celebrate, it's 1v2 as well.
That's going to be a great matchup. Aaron Stone now with runners at the corner, 1 out. Showing bunt. Bested doesn't go, takes a strike.
Bill 8-2 up, playing for pride, can't make the finals. Are you stealing 8-2 up?
That's an interesting question. And we don't have to know it because it's a ground ball fielded, and it's going to be an infield single for Aaron Stone on what looked like almost a little bit of a check swing there.
Yeah, the fielders fielding back onto their bases here, obviously with the runners around. So that ball just sliding down the third base line. So Marich made her way over to field it, but unfortunately, by the time she got there, the speed got herself up to first.
So bases loaded for the top of the order. Sophie King has factored in tonight. And Marich, first pitch strike. King quickly behind, 0-1. The outfield not playing too deep. The wind is blowing a little bit. The one place that could hurt is out in left field. Ball's carrying out that way. Little low there, 1-1. King's head hit out to center and a hit towards short.
Scored twice for herself, scored twice for Martinez. Has been busy running the bases tonight.
And her last time up was a fly to shortstop.
Really was the spark, wasn't she, early on, and Martinez has just been solid throughout the game. I reckon they're your top 2 for player of the game, guys.
Yep. Well, King can decide it here. She comes through with a clutch hit. That might tip the scales. Pitch from Marich. Swing and a miss. King was looking to end it right there.
Impressively for the Cats tonight, there's been no strikeouts offensively. And for the Hills as well, only the 1 strikeout, and that was early on in the game.
There's a ground ball to short. Bastian goes to 2, gets the out. Not in time to get the double play, and Saunders scores on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, not probably what King was after there, but bat on ball, you run the risk, but when it goes to Bastian, it very rarely becomes an error. She cleans up the nice out at second. It was never going to get the speedy King getting up to first.
Nice play, hanging in there, throwing across, but yeah, you're right. Sophie King very quick. So 1-3 again with 2 out, and this time, do you send them? And they do, and that won't draw a throw. Nice little pop-up slide there at 2.
I tell you what, there would be some very sore voice boxes there from Hills They might be down, but geez, were they loud with that call of gone, and so loud that I don't think King heard any call of standing up, so she was down and dirty.
Just missing a bit high there. Merich. 9-2 now. The Hills will get a shot to answer back. Haley Myers hit the ball well tonight. Also had a base on balls. Swinging through that one. First strike. 2-1.
It's been a night for the batters in the box. They've either got themselves a walk up or they got bat on ball and made the fielders have to play. So,
and that time's hard hit up the middle. Meyer comes through. Bested scores. King scores. The ball gets away from King. Georgia King. Too many Kings there. And Meyer moves up to second base. That reminds me of a Lambert thing way back in the day when Jordan and her sister both played on opposite teams.
Opposite teams, yeah.
Yeah.
Non-related. Well, not that I can think. Sophie King and Georgia King.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
What was more confusing was the year that you coached the Angels. That you had 4 Georges on the team.
Correct, yes. All the Georges. Well, it was part of my contract. I said I'm only coach if 3 or 4 are named Georgia, and they were happy to oblige.
Here's Chelsea Martinez. It's all smiles for Walkerville. They've blown out to a 9-run lead, 11-2. They've had 12 hits on the night. They haven't been struck out once,
And Martinez hits it out into the right center gap, picked up there by Temke, but that's going to score the run. Haley Meyer, and that might help the vote. That might tip the scales there.
the only thing being that the other person who's up against her is coming back out to step onto first, and Sophie King. She's crossed the plate 5 times. Can they get her across 6 in a night?
Would that be some record? I don't know. Like, I've never really thought about it before. But
If she gets over, it'll be 6 of 13. She's nearly 50% of the runs for her own team tonight has been her.
There's the C-Max replay of Haley Mayer scoring. So third consecutive at-bat for Chelsea Martinez that has resulted in an RBI single. We're going to see the Hills starting pitcher, Talia LaRosa, come in to try to close out the top half of the 5th inning as Walkerville's lead now out to 10. Guys, I'll let you talk amongst yourselves for a minute as I look down at the score sheet. I cannot see Walkerville having such a game, so I'm going to look to see if this is their highest scoring game of the year.
I think it's been a phenomenal effort by them. You know, we thought it was going to be a nice, tight, close effort. The Hills have got quite a few on the bases. They just haven't got them home. I'm just waiting to see if I can see exactly how many they've left on base through the game. But they've got players out there that, again, they've put bat on ball. It hasn't been struck out or anything like that. So with only one strikeout game, it's been a batter's game tonight, and it's been the team that's been able to get them around the best that's won.
And now Sophie Roberts with 1 out. Runner on 1, King again. Look, this is the kind of hitting performance, honestly. On paper, I've said Walkerville looks like they're a good hitting side. They can all hit the ball well, and honestly, I would have predicted they would be more in the hunt this year, playing better and scoring runs like this.
And interesting, a lot of balls gone out towards the centre field. The game the other week, I was just talking to Sophie Kinnear where she was fielding fairly straight for Glenelg and everything was just missing her to the left. And that was an actual plan. They deliberately planned that. They watched Walkerville. They'd seen that Walkerville hit the ball fairly straight up the diamond, so they were trying to field a bit more straighter, and just on that night they were flinging just to her right. But as soon as she went to her right and stood in the normal spot, the ball went to her left. So, but tonight there's a lot gone up the middle and out to the outfield towards the centre or centre right type positions.
Lean year for the Cats. They've had one game where they've scored 4 runs in a loss. One game where they scored 5 runs in a loss. That was to Seacombe. And one game where they scored 7 in a winning team, 7-6. So this is their biggest scoring game by 5 runs.
Roberts gets that one on the handle, and it's a little fly ball to Bastian, who retires her for the 3rd out.
Needless to say, it's a little bit like the game over on the back diamond tonight where Sturt didn't do a lot early and then had 3 innings, went bang, bang, bang and put on 11 runs. Exactly the same here. You've had 2 innings where Walkerville got 1. They've put 11 runs on in the next 3 innings.
So another 4-run inning for Walkerville. And as you said, it's blown it up to 12-2.
And that, yeah, 12-2, and that long inning, we're up to about 97 minutes minus the 5 minutes that we started. It's about 92 minutes. So this is the bottom and the home half of the last inning, 5th and final inning of this match between the Walkerville Cats and the Hills Heat. While we've got an opportunity, I'd like to thank Space Quake Sports. Again, this is the 8th season that we've broadcast, and they do a magnificent job. Couple of hiccups once in a while, but you know, we let them do that once in a while because of the brilliant broadcast that they provide. CMAX Clinical Research can't do it without our broadcast partners, MC Sportswear as well, and to the gentleman to my left, Bill Benedictson and Pete Williams. Thank you so much for your time. All the commentators are volunteers, and we do appreciate their efforts. 3 more outs to go, and it is the Hills Heat back up to the top of the order and Abby Bastion.
So the 3rd time Bastion sees Martinez. First pitch, changeup. Strike 1 called. Yes, we're going late into time here. It is getting chilly. The wind, you can see the jumpers coming out. It says it's 18, but it feels like about 12. And there's a fly ball. King's under it. And a nice catch by the shortstop for the first out.
Yeah, 1 out. Here's the C-Max replay of Abby Bastion just getting under it. Pulled the ball pretty hard, but went higher than it did further. Did you say it's 18 feels like minus 11? Is that what you said?
You may as well. I said it feels like about 12.
And what's the temperature in Maple Ridge?
Oh, geez, I haven't looked it up, but and I don't think Mom's watching this time of night. She'll watch tomorrow morning. I'd have to say it's probably down around 2 or something like that, but I haven't looked. They've had a lot of snow out there. They've had a lot of snow.
I reckon even Brandon would wear long pants on a cold day like that, but still in the shorts tonight.
Meg Williams up now. Tripled her last time up. Right down the left field line. 1-1 count. Martinez with the luxury of a 10-run lead. She can go after her batters. She can throw her pitch. Change up, laced by Meg Williams, but right into the glove of Sophie King at shortstop. And she's all smiles with that catch too.
Bill and Pete, I'm gonna get a player of the game from you both tonight. I reckon there's 2 players in contention. Let's take a look at the C-Max replay and this catch.
Absolutely smashing hit. Megan Williams will be happy with that off the bat, but geez, did Sophie move quickly. Probably one of the quickest ones out there. Took a couple of really sharp steps to the left, stuck the glove out, and in it went.
It's like they're prize fighters fighting for that prize. They keep taking jabs, you know. She comes up with a hit, she comes up with a catch. I'm going to score another run. I'm going to catch a ground ball up the middle. You know, who knows? It's going to come down to this last out whenever that does happen. So Aaron Adams McDonald in. 2-0 count. Martinez missing with the first 2 pitches.
Let me say about Chelsea Martinez with 5 assists in the field. Sophie has had 2 putouts herself and 2 assists in the field, so she's only 1 play behind in the field.
And you know what?
Gets a cold strike.
It might be 90-odd minutes into the game, and we might be deep into the season. That looked like it was coming down with a bit of heat. So Martinez bringing it tonight.
She can hear us out there, I reckon. She's trying to get a KT.
Trying to get that
What's
K.
the C-Max player of the game?
Change up, ground ball to second base. Gall stays down, throws to Mason, and that's the 3rd out and the ball game. Walkerville 12, Hills 2.
Yep, good finish there. Nice easy play at the end for Steph Gale to flick it to Georgia Mason for 3rd out. My C-Max player of the game is going to be the shortstop, Sophie King. She got it going early. She got across the home plate, albeit for Chelsea a couple of times. but she got herself around. She did a perfect game in the field, and her experience definitely would be helping this Walkerville team.
Here's the final replay, the final CMAX replay of the game. And if you want to help advance tomorrow's healthcare and get paid for your time, log on to cmax.com.au. There's your final score, 12-2. We've heard Pete's player of the game. Bill?
Well, I'm going to say Martinez because of those runs scored by Sophie King, 2 of them are a result of Chelsea Martinez's hit to put her back on as a temporary runner. Not taking anything away from Sophie King, and if they could be co-winners, I would be all for that.
All right. Well, you know what? We can make our own rules because they don't actually get anything. We're just acknowledging a great effort. So
Lucky we're not getting him to hold a cup because the 2 height difference there might be a bit awkward.
Well, that's true.
joint players of the game tonight. Well, the 2 teams will shake hands. The umpires will decide on the 3-2-1s, and I will thank Pete, and I'll thank Bill, and I'll thank producer Brandon. And you've seen Walkerville Cats win 12 runs to 2 tonight. We'll see you on Saturday for Indigenous Round.